So good evening to everybody and welcome to my live broadcast once again. Let me adjust this. So, good evening to you. Where are my people at? Have you all gone to bed? Have you gone to bed or you are awake? So, like I promised, I'm back once again to tell you one or two stories before we go to bed. You know, I came earlier than scheduled. I said I was going to come at 10 p.m. Austria time, but now is 5 minutes to 10 p.m. in Vienna. Man, I decided to come earlier than scheduled because if I lie down now, I may sleep off. Jordan, sir, how are you doing? Good to see you. So how is everyone doing? Man, let me wait for more people, people to join me on YouTube. Bosco, I see you. Bosco, I see you. So, I want to drop like 2 or 3 stories for you guys this evening. Miss Mendes, I see you. These are my people. Miss Mendes, I see you. Yes, so. You say better you go for go for night job. How do you mean? So, well, where are my people? Let's have a full house here. Wood is here in the building. Man, I've got a lot of lovely fans. I have better followers on TikTok, and I saw you went to night job, Jordan Star. Okay, good for you. Okay. So I have nice followers on TikTok and YouTube. Man, I stopped broadcasting on Facebook because each time I go live on Facebook, you see some evil spirits report. Some evil spirits will report my video. I don't, I don't, man, I don't just want to laugh this night, you know. Would I see you? Would I greet you? World or world. You know, this your name is difficult for me to pronounce. Is it world or world? So that's why I left. Canary King, greetings to you. Good to have you here. Miss Mendes, thank you for the likes, for the shares. I appreciate you plenty. Well, you know, formerly, I had my live stream on TikTok and Facebook. But you know, each time I was done streaming live on Facebook, you see, as I was live, you see people report my video. I don't know who is that. So now I decided to be broadcasting on TikTok and YouTube, and they have no power over this one. Adam, I see you. Okay, it's pronounced world. Okay, world. Okay, because I saw you in Dutch. Yeah, so Adam, I've been dodging bullets since morning, since life. Kelvin, I see you. Good evening to you, Kelvin. So that's how I've been dodging bullets every now and then. They just they pursue me up and down. I owe nobody nothing. I'm just struggling to, to succeed in life. These evil spirits are just chasing somebody on Facebook. I'm just some come to your page, you think they love you, they don't love you, they want to come and pull you down. Thank you, Adam. Some may come and make blah 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 in the beginning. You think you are with them, you don't know that they are against you. People like that exist. So that's it. But every now and then you see good people around, people who wish you well, people who want you to succeed in life, and that's it. So, but then I'm not giving up. I will still be broadcasting on Facebook with time. I just needed to get myself another video and I will face them. I will get another phone. If I buy another phone now, I will be broadcasting on TikTok, Facebook, and then YouTube. That's what I will be doing. So, Farmer Josie is greeting from Nairobi, Kenya. Farmer Josie is greeting from. That means you are watching. I saw my video, my YouTube. YouTube is very nice. Platform. They recommend my videos everywhere. People from India, Pakistan, USA, Nairobi, Africa. Man, YouTube is fine. Adam, thank you. I'm not giving up. Amon is also watching from Nairobi. Amon on TikTok is also watching from Nairobi, Kenya. These people are lovely people, very nice people. Demba, good evening to you. I've been trying to, I'm peeping to get your name right. That should be Demba. Good evening to you. So, Felix, from Ghana. You are reporting from Canada. Good to have you here. Seeing you for the first time. So as you join me, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. I want to achieve greatness in life. I want to achieve success. Okay, Father said I should do more live on YouTube. That's what I'm doing. This is my second time of going live on YouTube. Canary, thank you for liking my video on YouTube. May your way, may you continually be blessed. I appreciate you. So, Adam, I'm almost at Adam. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Well, let me see how many people we have here before I start dropping my lines. It's already 10 p.m. in Vienna. I used to be out at 10 p.m. in Vienna. So, waiting for more people to join us before I start with my story. Paul Waters is in the building. Paul, good to have you here. So, Farmer said I should give people blue jackets. I don't know about that. I look German. Yes, I live in Austria. I live in German-speaking country. Paul Waters, I appreciate you. Paul Waters, Miss Mendes, Bosco, and Jordan Sa and EKGR, a lot of Majestically Mane, a lot of them. These are co-owners of TikTok page. So, Adam, you follow. Thank you. I appreciate you, Adams. Thank you for Painkiller is in the building. Thank you. I appreciate you. How many people am I going to mention? So many people here on TikTok. So many angels. I'm surrounded by angels, good ones. You see? Farmer said people my moderators. Okay, I will try. I will do that with. I need some of the people personally. No, I don't want people to run away with my page. Let me tell you something. Every day I get people who want to hack my TikTok page. Every day. Painkiller, I appreciate it. Thank you. Painkiller said, I have a dedicated fan in Finland. Painkiller, I appreciate you. Yeah, so these are my people, you see, people that wish me well, that want me to succeed in life. But there are people who want to pull me down, but no, they will not succeed. They can never pull me down. I'm a determined man. I cannot labor in vain. Not at all. Farmer, I appreciate you. You know, I love Kenyan people. I never had any problem with any Kenyan. You know, there are people you don't, maybe our destiny is matched. You know what I mean? Our destiny is matched. My destiny, even, let me tell you the story of one Kenyan woman. Do I tell you the story of Painkiller? I appreciate you. One Kenyan woman, man, it's good to when you remember people, you remember the good things they did for you, or they have done for you, or you did for them too. You see? So, do we start now? Let's go. Some people are here. Okay, Farmer said, as moderators, they block dirty comments. People can comment whatever. I have no time for them. You know what I mean? Adam, I appreciate you. However, well, I'm here. I'm going to spend about 1.5 hours or more here this evening. So, see, I'm getting plenty love on TikTok. So, guys on TikTok, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Uncle RODDY. You go to Uncle RODDY on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. That's a way of supporting me, man. That's it. I know quite last now. So, guys, let me drop my lines and let me drop my lines now. Yeah. Lord, I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me drop my lines. Some stories. I have 1, 2, 3 stories to tell you. Okay, let me start with a Kenyan woman that is living in Vienna here. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Before people, let me use it to keep you guys busy before more people join us. So way back in 2000, I opened a hairdressing salon. In 2000, I opened a hairdressing salon. And when I opened this hairdressing salon in Vienna, I don't have customers. My business, my shop there was very new. I went to school. I learned how to, cut hair, That was in the 90s. I went to school, Friseur to go learn how to cut hair. Because then, I had a lot of customers, African people, because I was the first black man who started cutting hairs, cutting people's hair. So I had so many customers. I was making money. So I decided to open a barber's shop officially. But they said I need license. They call it the Shine. So license to open a barber's shop. Now, they said the only way to get the license was to go to school. To the hairdressing school here. So I had to pay like $2,500 then. $2,500. That was around 1998, 99. I had to pay. The course lasted for a year. So I had to pay $2,500, then to, go to the school. When I was done with the school, I opened my own shop, my own hairdressing salon, barber's shop. So I started by, I printed business card, and I usually go to the Uber and train stations and check people, white people, black people. And I then went to one Kenyan woman who had a hairdressing salon in Vienna. But this lady, this beautiful soul has had this hairdressing salon for years, for over 8 years or 10 years, before I ventured into the business. Are you following me now? So, this is why just be nice to people if you can. Make friends, be nice to people, don't spoil people. So when I opened my bar shop, I combine it with cosmetics, attachments, human hairs, relaxers, and creams. When I opened my hairdressing salon and barber shop, I had no customers. And you know how it goes here. Every month you pay your rent, you pay your tax, you pay your electricity bill, and the rest of them. I was lost at what to do. I don't actually know what to do then. So I went to one woman from Kenya. And, we've been friends, but not so deep friends. We meet, we greet, we gisted, laughed about life, discussed about life issues. So I went to her shop, dropped my business card, my complimentary card, where my address, my shop address and telephone number and everything. I dropped it for her in her shop. So waiting for customer, it was not easy in the beginning. So every week I was getting like 4 European customers that called and said they want to make rasta tough, that is braiding. They want to braid their hair. Don't forget, I don't know how to braid hair, but I have workers who knew how to braid hair, who can braid hair. So every day, every 2 days, I was getting customers. I wondered why. How come I was getting, from nowhere, I was getting customers making from the onset? This thing lasted for over 6 months. So when I went, one day, I was making money without knowing where my customers were coming from who was directing these customers to me. So one day I went to this Kenyan lady's shop. I went to her shop. So she asked me if I was getting all the customers she's been sending to me. I said, wow, were you the one that sent all these customers to me? She said, yes, she was the one. That she had so many customers. And whenever she has no chance to braid people, when she has so many customers, she directs a lot of them to me. Anytime she had so many customers, she directed some to me. That was how my shop grew. And I don't forget that goodwill. You see, each time I remember that woman, I always pray for her. Say, may the universe continue to bless her. You see, but there are people, when you remember them, you sigh. All what you would remember about them is the bad thing or the bad things they did to you. The betrayals, the mistreatment, the lies, and the rest of them. Among families, among friends, among the people you met on the way. So I've had a very pleasant experience with people from Kenya. I also had a lot of Kenyans as customers and friends, mainly women. These women, we went to gym together. These women were lovely people, Kenyan women. I went to gym with a lot of them. Many were my customers. These ladies, I never had any unpleasant experience with them. Then let me tell you about the story of one Haitian woman who claimed to be a Jehovah's Witness. Now, when I opened my shop and I was distributing my business card. I don't like mentioning countries, you know. I'm sorry for mentioning country. I would have even, I mean, I would have told you these guys this story without mentioning the lady's country. So I know this woman, man, see, outward impression, outward appearance can be deceptive. Don't take people don't take people based on outward appearance. You get it now. There was this woman, she claimed to be a Jehovah's Witness, and she carried Bible and the rest, all this Tower, Watchtower magazine and things like that. So we met, we spoke sometime, and after, when I opened my shop, I gave her. So, you see, Miss Mendez, somebody said he is in love with you. Juicy said that. He said he is in love with you. Juicy, don't break my sister's heart. Oh. Poured by waters, I appreciate you. So now, this lady, I met her back then. That was before I opened my shop in Vienna, in 3rd District. So this lady, we were good. Sometimes she was from the Caribbean. Sometimes we went to the McDonald's, we sat. She was married to an European man too. You know, I had a lot of friends, you know. I am somebody that makes friends easily, you know. Somebody, I can open you up if you are closed. I like talking to people. If you are not cheerful, I open you up. So I'm somebody that greets people, like communicating with people. That's my kind of person. So now I met this woman. Before I opened my shop, every now and then we met and we discussed about life. So, but I don't know her personally. You know, I don't know her personally. We met occasionally, you know, like that. So when I opened my shop, I gave her my business card. Said, you can always, whenever you want to buy attachments, human hair or whatever, please come patronize me. She said, no problem. Guess what? One day this lady came to my shop. And there were other, like 2 European women who came to make their hair. Listen to me. There were 2 European women who came to make make hair, to braid their hair. So they asked me the price, the cost of hair braiding. I said, you can give me 4,500 shilling, which was about like 400 euros or thereabouts, you know, because they said they wanted long, bread. So now, as I was discussing the price with this lady, this woman from Caribbean, black woman from Caribbean, was giving the sign not to agree, not to do the hair. So accidentally, or do I say coincidentally, I caught her. I said, this woman that carries the Bible, talks about God, came to my shop, met customers in my shop. Even she was discouraging the ladies not to do the hair. When I named my price, this woman was discouraged in my shop that I pay rent every month. I pay the shop rent. This woman was discouraging these young girls from doing the hair, from braiding their hair. You know, I looked at the woman and said, where do I start? Do I walk the woman away from my shop, or do I start, shouting at her? What? You know, I'm a man that is a belly full. You know, there are things I usually ignore. I just ignored the woman. I said, because then I was getting customers. So those ladies, those young girls, she began to tell them that their hair was beautiful and they don't need to braid their hair or do rasta tough to do rasta, that their hair was beautiful. That is openly discouraging them from, patronizing me. So these ladies later left my shop and promised to come back next time. So, on another occasion, this particular woman came to my shop again. You know, this is why I tell you, you can never vouch for anybody. Never say this person is good or bad until you have something to do with that person. On another occasion, another customer, an European, came to my shop to, braid the hair. This woman was openly discouraging the lady not to patronize me. Man, human beings, there are devils in human form. There are devils in human form. I'm not telling, I've never seen something like that. Jealous, wicked soul. She was, in fact, some human beings cannot even control their jealousy. Man, human beings do. So this woman was openly discouraging inside my shop my customers not to patronize me, telling them, they say, man, Vibes, I see you. I said, so this woman, you know, that kind of bad heart. I said, so this woman is like this. I said, so this woman is like this. So this woman that I usually go to McDonald's, we talk about life generally. She told me how she lived in abroad. So this woman is a devil. She doesn't want me to prosper. She came to my shop and she was discouraging my customers. Man, things they happen. A witch. After that day, I complained. Yes, I remember now what's happened. Don't forget, she was a Jehovah's Witness member. There was one man, an elderly man, that usually come to my shop, you know, to preach to me, to read the Bible to me. The man was I don't know, maybe the man must have died now. He was an old man then. So what happened was, that elderly man came to my shop. I now narrated the whole thing to this elderly man who was also a Jehovah's Witness. I narrated the thing to this Jehovah's elderly man who was also a Jehovah's Witness. The man said he was going to talk to her. I guess the man spoke to her. She never came to my shop anymore. She did not come to my shop anymore. That was how, each time I see this woman on the streets, we don't talk. That was how we became enemies. Each time she see me on the streets, now the woman is old and kaput. Each time she see me on the streets, we don't talk. That was how we became enemies. There are people, I saw her sometime this year or last year. If you see her, she has no life. Bad people don't have it good in life. You understand me? That was how I dismissed her. I cut the contact. I said, man, please go. There are people you don't need to get close to in life because they don't have good hearts. So guys, you are welcome to my evening show. My name is RODDY. I'm your host for tonight's show. So now, if you are seeing me for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Uncle RODDY and also follow this page. Now, here comes the story. I have two stories to tell you tonight. So, many years back, when I was driving taxi, you know, I met a lot of people, good people and bad people. And there were times, good evening, forever blessed, good evening to you. You know, sometimes if I don't respond to you, know that I did not see your comments or I couldn't see it very well. So now, you know, in taxi business, you meet a lot of people, cool taxi drivers too, taxi colleagues, okay? And when business, was slow then. You see us fall out of the car and discuss politics, religion, and daily life with our colleagues, waiting for customers to come before we continue with our job. Now, listen to this story. There was one man from Turkey. This man was a very hard-working man. The man was a very hard-working man. In fact, if you go out at 4 a.m. in the morning, you see the man on the road hustling for passengers. This man did not buy himself plenty clothes. He did not, he saved all the money he made in taxi. So the man was married then with 2 boys. And this man loved his boys so much. Listen to this story. This man loved his boys so much. He had 2 boys. So he said he was going to do everything for his 2 boys. You know what I mean now? So he worked so hard. Now, that man had been driving taxi before I entered into taxi business. Before I entered into taxi business, the man has been there for over 15 or 20 years driving taxi. So the man told me, listen, the man told me all the money he was making then, he was investing it in landed property in Turkey. He bought so many landed property, lands. He was just buying. Time I see you. So he was just buying landed property in Turkey, in good, I forgot the city, but good location. So the man worked so hard, and because the man was always on the road, one day the news came in that the man has died. Kelly, G, I see you. News filtered in that the man has died. So the man is dead. When I heard this story, I was, shocked. So how come that young man died just like that? The man died in his early 50s. But by then, he had driven taxi for over 30 years. That means he began to drive taxi in his early 20s. You get it now. So I felt sorry, and it was his countryman that told me that the man has died. I said, wow. So later on, these guys, they know themselves and they are connected. I don't say they know themselves and they speak. Now, like 4 months after the death of the man, or 5 months after the death of the man, I saw one of his friend who was also a taxi driver. Now, his friend told me that the son was negotiating, the first son was negotiating to go sell all the property the man made in Turkey. I said, really? He said, the first son was negotiating to go sell. I said, you know how this taxi business is. Sometimes you may be discussing important, topic with somebody, having important conversation with somebody. Before you know it, a passenger will board the car and you move. So I did not see the man anymore. That man that was gisting me about the children, the sons of that man that was late. So now, after a year or thereabouts, I ran into that man, the guy that was telling me about the deceased man. So I asked him, I remembered, I asked him, I said, bros, we call ourselves bro. I said, we get it. I said, how about that, the children of that man? The guy gave me, now he gave me the gist, the full gist. He said, after the man was buried, don't forget, the man had 2 sons. After the man was buried, the first son now traveled home to Turkey. Now, sought for real estate agents, handed them all the properties, and asked them to sell the properties without the consent of the junior one. Ogre, I see you. Ogre, I see you. Good to have you here. Now the first son, traveled to Turkey, arranged and sold all the land the father bought while he was alive. Listen to this story. So, guess what? When he sold all the properties the father labored for over 30 years, he used the money with his girlfriend. They were bubbling. From there, they traveled to the Caribbean. The junior one heard about it and began to chase him up and down. And this guy, carried all the money and relocated to Caribbean country, without sharing the money with the junior brother. Now let me go further. Their father, when he was alive, the father denied himself the goodies of life, the good things of life. This man, each time you saw the man looked dirty, unkept. He was hustling. Just thinking, planning. He wanted to, make good life or lay good foundation for his boys. He never had time for himself. He never had time for himself. He was just buying properties for the children. And immediately he died. Under 1 year, the first son said he was born here. He does not want to live in Turkey. He traveled to Turkey and sold everything. He said he does not want to live in Turkey, and he sold everything. And I remembered this story today and decided to share it with you. You see, in life, I always say you come first. I know we all love our children. You love your children, but you've got your life to live. I've seen men and women who planned very well for their children. When they died, their children sold all the properties, wasted the money. These men, labored so much because their plan was to give their children good life. I'm not saying it happens in all cases, but always make out time to enjoy your life. Make out time to enjoy your life. Eat what you desire, what you want to eat. If you want to buy, I'm not encouraging you to be foolish, but then the one you enjoyed while alive was the one that you enjoyed. In fact, don't understand me? Because they say in my language, if you make money and don't enjoy it, don't spend it, don't enjoy that money, when you die, your enemies will eat that money, enjoy that money. This money, this Turkish man did not give himself good life. He did not give himself good life. He worked for his children, and when he died, his children wasted that money. This story is for us to learn. This is a true life story. And one day when I went to buy a new SIM card, I met a fellow taxi driver. He also from the same country. He also told me about, said the son just useless the money. He said they don't know where the son, went with the money. It just the guy sold the father's property and got lost with the money with his girlfriend. That was about last year. I met one of the guy, but this guy that told me this don't drive taxi anymore. Let's go further. These stories are there for you to, use and, know what to do with these stories, how to plan your life. Do you understand me? I'm not telling you, I love my children so much that if you touch my children, you've touched me. But then, don't forget, you've got your life to live. Yeah, before I discuss further about this man who, invested so much in his native land, let me tell you another story that I saw. This one happened on television. There was a program they usually run on television. It was called then Barbara Kalish Show. Then some of the old schools in Vienna may know they ran that program on ORF 1 then. There was a woman who anchored that program. It was called then. The woman's name was Barbara Kalish. So that program was Barbara Kalish Show. Now listen to this story. So one day, I think it was on Sunday, Miss Mendes, I will come with the story. So now, one after this story, that one will come. Now, there was a program that they usually air on television once or twice every week. And an European woman who should be in her 60s then came to report, to tell her problems, what she was going through. Listen to this story now, and you will learn. So, Clara Enoma, you said you know her. Okay, good. Good, did you watch the program? Okay, Barbara Kalish Show back then on ORF 1 then. Okay. Now listen to this gist. What happened? One woman took credit from the bank to buy a house in Austria. One woman took credit in the bank, like you call it mortgage. She borrowed money from bank. Listen to this. This is a real life story. This woman took money from bank to buy a house here in Austria. Now, this woman spent over 30 years paying this money, paying this credit. So, and the woman has only one daughter. She has only one daughter. Okay? Listen to this gist. She has only one daughter. So the woman, let me tell you this gist, man. Things are happening. This story is there for you to learn. So this woman, so Clara, you live in Austria. So you watched, then you must be an old school. I watched Barbara Kalish Show a lot then. So, but let me continue with this story. Good, you confirmed it. Now this woman borrowed money from bank to buy. Adam, you live in Austria. So then if you lived in the 90s, you must have watched Barbara Kalish Show then in ORF. If you came here in the 90s, you may have, I don't know if they still air the program. Then, you understand me? So now, this, you are only 15 years. You are a little boy, a little girl. You are only 15. Okay, I'm talking about the 90s. Okay, now, so, now, this woman took credit. This woman took credit from the bank, spent over 30 years to pay off the credit. Listen to this story. After the woman paid off the credit, paid the bank the credit, listen, because of the love, the daughter was still living with her. You understand me? Because of you can verify this story. Adam, I appreciate you. You can verify this story. So, after paying off the credit, now, after paying off the credit, now this woman decided to will the house in the daughter's name. Listen to this gist. This woman decided to write will, to will the house in the daughter. She gave the daughter that house, not will. She now changed the ownership in the daughter's name. I cannot remember why she did it. Listen to this gist. She now changed ownership of, after paying the credit, she now changed ownership of that thing. Because of the love she has for her daughter, she now gave it to her daughter, that house. But she said in case she dies, then the daughter will ge'eb. We call it inherit. That's ge'eb. That is inherit the house. Listen. So when she did it, the daughter never knew. She then, it's called transfer of ownership. Because of the love, in case if she dies or whatever. Well, I don't know why she did it. So after transferring ownership of the house, she then announced to this daughter, say, listen, because of the love she had for the daughter, listen. She now told the daughter, now I've written this, Patrick, I see you, Patrick Smart. This house now runs in your name. You are now the bona fide owner of this house. But I'm living here in case she dies. She told the daughter, in case she dies, the daughter then would inherit the house because the woman had already finished paying for the house. Now listen. As soon as the daughter had it, few months down the line, the daughter came with the boyfriend. Listen, the daughter came with the boyfriend and now asked the mother, to vacate the house, to pack out. Things are happening though. It's not a joke. The daughter asked the mother to vacate the house. The mother said, what are you talking? She said, the daughter now said the house belongs to her, that the mother should leave. She wants to have her ruhe, her peace in her home. It wasn't a small thing, no. The mother thought it was a joke. This girl asked the mother to leave the house. The woman said, listen, she bought the house on credit, paid off the credit, worked for years. That is donkey years of her life to pay. The daughter did not pay a dime concerning that house. It was the mother that worked day and night to pay for the house until the debt was, paid. The daughter said the mama should leave, should pack out. This woman, the mother went to court. Court said the woman should pack out that. The court said the house belonged to the daughter. The woman took lawyers, took everywhere, went everywhere. They said, no way. In Green Book, you know what is Green Book? Where they register houses. Like, we call it Green Book. In register, it states the daughter is the bona fide owner of the house. The woman fought, did everything, fought to reclaim back, her house. Provided evidence how she paid, bank, everything. They said the daughter owns the house and the daughter has the final say. Are you listening to me? They said the daughter has the final say. So this woman, after going to court, exhausting her money and energy, she went everywhere. She followed it through the civil, she took law and followed. They said, no, the owner of the house wants you out. They asked the woman to leave the house because the daughter owns the house. The woman became homeless, stranded. She chased the mother away from the house. That was how the mother now went to that ORF program, Barbara Kalish show, to go seek for help, to go on air, to tell the world her predicament, her problem. That was how I came to know about this story. The woman was crying on television. They said, even on that program, they said, well, how come you made such a mistake? The love she had for the daughter. You see, they say there is no art to find the mind's construction on the face. You cannot read a human mind. Yes, Adam, I live. You cannot read a human mind. Adam, I live in Austria. You understand me? You cannot. Now, this was a lady she gave birth to, nurtured, fed, clothed, sent to school, labored for. Do you understand me? She took credit, bought the house, paid off the credit. Now, transferred ownership of the house to the daughter. The daughter sent her packing. The woman became homeless. The woman, the owner, the woman that bought the house, paid off the house, became homeless. This is true life story. It is also verifiable. ORF can still get you the story. It happened during Barbara Kalish show on air, on television. Even while watching that on television, I was surprised, I was shocked. The girl, the daughter did not even allow the mama, she did not give the mama one room. Say, mama, be living here. She said she wants the mother out from her home. And she started living with the boyfriend. Said it was her home. Her mother. These stories are there for us to learn. These stories are there for us to learn. I always say, you are priority in life. You come first. You come first. This story is there for you to learn. Well, guys, as you watch me, don't forget to follow my YouTube page. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Uncle RODDY. And if you are seeing me for the first time, this is how we roll here. Don't forget to follow this page. That's how we roll here. Kuma Kabdi said she needed DNA of the daughter. Well, Kuma, things happens in this life. You just need to be very careful. You need to protect yourself first. I always say it, every now and then. You come first, protect yourself. Love your children, but this story is verifiable. If you contact ORF, Austrian television channel, ask them about this Barbara Kalish show back in the 90s, and then they can even tell you the story. It's happened for real life. No joke. No joke. So, well, the woman became homeless. Either she later went and rented an apartment, started to suffer to pay rent. The house then belonged to the daughter. Well, people make mistake. I don't know why the woman made the mistake, but the daughter asked the mother to quit, and she did. She went to court, she fought it, but they said the house then now belonged to the daughter, and she has absolute rights. She has rights to decide who stays there and who don't stay there. Punct. Finish. So, let's go further. Let's go further. Now, this is the story of a lady I met here in Vienna. From Kuma, the daughter did not allow her to even live in the house. She asked her to pack out. She did not allow her to live there. Say, you can stay here till the day you die. No. She asked her to pack, move out. The mother moved out and she started living there. She now became the owner of the house. She started living there with the boyfriend. And there was nothing anybody could do to her. Nobody. They said she did not commit any crime. She did not, yeah. She was just living there. Now the house belonged to her. Things are happening. Well, guys, here's another story for the evening. Well, this was around 2000. When was this story now? This story I'm about to tell you happened around 2001, 2002, 2003. Here is the story. This is the story of an African woman who found her way to Europe. She struggled to come to Europe on her own. Well, you know what people go through, women go through to come to Europe. A lot of women were sponsored to come to Europe, and you know the gist. That is, they come here and work to settle their madam, the person that sponsored the journey. And they had to work for many years to pay their madam a certain amount of money before they can be free. Are you following? So now people came here, came here in different ways and for different reasons then. So this lady, very beautiful lady, social, that is, the lady was beautiful and homely. She was, how do I put it? A joy to, be with. Somebody that when you stay around her, man, you will enjoy her company. So, beautiful lady, good body, good face. So, like I told you, I'm somebody that, like talking to people. We discuss about life issues and things like that. So this lady told me her story back then. We don't mention name, we don't mention tribe and things like that. She said to me, she came to Europe on her own. I did not, go ask her, how did you come? What did you do? Because that wasn't my business, So the woman said, she remembered how they suffered in Africa. The father died early, very early. So as I remember the stories, all what she told me, I will be bringing it to you so that you can learn from this story. She said her father died too early, leaving her mother with her siblings. You getting it now? Her father died very early, leaving her mother with her junior ones. Now this lady found her way to abroad. She came to abroad, hustled, And she said because when she was in Africa, they had no food to eat. And they were living in ghetto. And as she came here, she kept sending money to pay her junior sister's school fees, to pay the rent and feeding of the junior ones. So she was carrying the financial burden of the family. She will give the mother money, the junior ones money, the ones that were going to school, and pay the rent of everybody. So at a time, the immediate junior sister started to, trouble her. She said the immediate junior sister said she also wanted to come to abroad to help the family since the burden was, the load was too much for her. Listen to the gist now. So the lady said, well, that was a good idea. So she decided, she said, well, it wasn't that, it was a wise plan to bring the junior sister to abroad. She said she spent money to sponsor the trip, to bring the junior sister. And the junior sister landed to Europe. She said, all the time she had been in Europe, her mother, every time, money this, money that, money this, money that, money this, every time money. All the men that came to her, that wanted to marry her, the mother discouraged all. Like when men come, when she tell her mother from abroad that she was getting married, that there were men that were coming for her, the mother will discourage, will ask who the man was, and then the mother will discourage her from getting married. I said, baby, you are not smart. Yes, you aren't smart. Your mother wouldn't want you to get married at all because she believes if you get married, your husband will stop you from helping the family, helping your sibling, helping her, and paying her bills. How do you think she was going to be happy to see you get married? She would not believe that your husband would be the one who would be benefiting from benefiting all this, enjoying this money. She said she never knew that mothers can be an enemy to their daughters. Listen to a story this evening. So, she struggled and brought the junior one to abroad. After a while, the junior sister became her worst enemy. In fact, the story was that happened about 24 years ago. But she began to fight with the junior sister. The junior sister refused to assist other members of the family, like the junior ones, to send money to the mother and to pay the rent. She refused to foot the financial responsibilities. She refused to settle it. The mother wasn't mad at the junior sister. Are you listening? The one she brought. The mother's attention was on her. So now, this lady now told me, when the financial burden became too much, she now said, well, the best solution would be for her to buy a land and build a house. Buy a land in her name, build the house, and then the mother and the siblings, the junior ones, can then move in. Her plan was to stop paying rent. To stop paying rent to somebody else. Are you listening to me now? So now she asked the mother, listen to this story. She now asked the mother to go find a plot of land that she wants to buy land and develop where the whole family can live, since they have no decent place. Listen to me. Since they don't have decent place, she now asked the mother to get a plot of land and she wants to develop it. So after a while, the mother called her and then informed her she got a plot of land with boys' quarters. The lady said, wow, that was a good one, because then they could move in instantly. You know, a plot of land with boys' quarter. The lady said, the lady living in Europe said, that was ideal. That's the best thing. So, yes, Kuma, she wants to be her own landlord. She wanted to stop paying, you know, the burden was too much on her. So she wanted to stop paying rent and paying everything. She said so eventually, the mother got the land with boys' quarter, and this lady sent money for the property, paid for the property. Now the mother got a lawyer. The lawyer prepared the property documents, and the mother was the person holding the property documents, the property documents. So, you know, listen to this gist. This lady never doubted the mother for one day. She was living in Europe, and the mother was the person who held the property documents, who was in possession of the property documents. So she had no reason to fear or doubt the mother. Listen. So she began to hustle, because she told me how they suffered, how the father died very early. She began to hustle, started sending money. Now she found an architect to draw the plan of the building. An architect drew the plan of the building. So this woman paid the architect and began to send the mother money to develop the house. Now, she wasn't paying for rent anymore. She wanted to develop the building, her own building, but you know, the way that the whole family would live in the building. So she started sending money. Anton, I see you. She started sending money to the mother. Along the line, she got a boyfriend. And this boyfriend was serious. And she said, age was no longer on her side. She was getting older. And she decided to settle down, because many of her mates then were already married and had children then. She said, man, since she was getting ready, she needed to get married. She met somebody here in Europe, informed the mother. The mother said, she does not want to see somebody from that tribe. She does not want to see somebody from that tribe. Why did she choose to take a man from so-so tribe? I don't need to mention the tribe. You see, that was a ploy to, spoil that relationship. They always look for a way. You see, where do I start, Seth? So many men and women who are single today don't know what caused the crash of their marriage. Most times, the enemy is within. Most times, the person responsible for the failure of your marriage is somebody in your family. And they do these things mainly when they do these things when you are the breadwinner of the family. If their survival depends on you. They don't want you to get married. They don't want you to have a husband or a wife, because they believe the moment you get married, you face your wife. The moment you get married, you face your husband. And they know When you get married, you start having children. And then your attention would be on your husband or your wife and your children. So some go spiritual. A lot go spiritual to stop you from. Most women you see today that ended up single, no child, was caused by family members. Don't forget, a man's enemies are members of his household. And most of the time, this spiritual warfare, these spiritual fights are from people you know very well. I will tell you guys maybe tomorrow how these people operate. Yes, I will tell you how, I mean the areas, how they operate. So now listen. The mother starts to kick against the marriage. Said, why did you choose to marry a man? He said, look, she told the mother that she was at peace with this man. And the husband, I met the husband several times. The husband was a very cool man, quiet man. He doesn't talk much. Very quiet gentleman, somebody that doesn't like problem. So the woman said, well, she does not want to do road marriage. She wanted to go travel back to Africa to go marry the man traditionally. So she arranged for a date, informed the mother, said she was coming home to come marry the husband. The woman prepared. Listen to this story. The woman prepared. So, guys, you are not following my page. Now, what's up with you? As you watch me, follow this page. And also, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube page. You see? Now, listen. She now booked a date for the wedding traditional marriage ceremony. Now, with her man, when she arrived home, she now went to the site where the house she paid for. First and foremost, when she went there, she got the shock of her life. Her mother had then used that building and the site as a shrine. Shrine where they practice voodoo juju. The mother had already turned the entire compound to shrine. She said she was seeing red clothes, white clothes, yellow clothes, pots of juju, eggs. That is, there was no place. She said, what about the millions of money she sent for the development of the building? Before this time, the junior sister, she wasn't in talking time with the junior sister she brought abroad. The junior sister had married and started having children. The mother supported the junior sister's marriage, was down for her, marry the junior sister. The mother kept fighting the first daughter, the one that was the breadwinner of the family. Listen to this gist. She said when she went there, she was shocked. Said, Mama, what is this? Have you turned to a native doctor, a witch doctor, a babalawo, dibia? What's going on? The mother began to fight her. She said, well, that she wanted, close the door, please. She said she wanted to have the documents, the property documents. The woman said, what? You want to have what? She said she wants, first of all, she said she wants the property documents. The mother said, what are you talking about? Which property documents are you talking about? Not the joke, oh! Man, things are happening in this life. The lady called people, said she wants the documents of her property that she labored. She did all sorts of dirty things. to send the money, that she want the documents. The mother refused. Said never. They called everybody. They said the woman did not bring it. It wasn't a small fight. So she said, well, she had already traveled from Europe to Africa to go carry out her traditional marriage ceremony. And she doesn't want to waste flight tickets and the arrangement, the family of the man and everything. People were already ready. Don't forget, that traditional marriage ceremony was to be conducted in her home, in their place. She said, on the day of the traditional marriage ceremony, the mother fought her, used bottle to break her head, blood everywhere. Police people gathered. The mother fought her brutally. Her white clothes was, the wedding, everything was soaked. The tradition was soaked in blood. Fights everywhere. She used fights to scatter everywhere. The woman had to run. She had to save her. He said she had to save her life. Quickly, she hid herself with the husband and they returned back to Europe here. When she returned back to Europe here, how I knew this lady was when each time you go to her shop, she would be reading Bible, calling God to help her. I said, every time she was reading Bible, calling God to help her. So most times if you go to her shop then, you see her calling on God. She was carrying Bible every minute. So, you know, I'm somebody that like talking to people. I said, my sister, this one, you like praying, you like. I said, she began to tell me her problem. That was how she began to tell me. She said she cannot sleep. She said ever since she married the husband, she has been fighting to have a baby of her own. No way. And they have been fighting her spiritually. Where she was living, nobody knows. What she does, nobody knows. She said the thing is, she wants to have her own baby, but children are not coming her way. And that's why she's been praying. That was how I said, listen, you see, the story itself, too much. I said, listen, these are mistakes a lot of people have made. You know, a mother can be an enemy. A father can be an enemy. A brother can be an enemy. A sister can be an enemy. A cousin can be an enemy. A nephew can be an enemy. Especially when you see, who is this person? Especially when you see a very poor woman who made nothing out of her life, or a very poor man who made nothing out of his life. I'm not telling you that rich people don't do it, but mostly poor people do that. So I advised the woman. I said, since you've been trying to, get pregnant and it wasn't happening, it wasn't coming, it wasn't happening. I said, go to the hospital and try IVF. She thanked me. So she went to the hospital and began to go through the process of IVF. You know what I mean? Now, she told me, she said, please, she wants, that was then, she wanted to buy a plot of land where the family, not in her state, where the families can never see her or her husband or know what she was doing. She said she wants to run very far from any member of her family, any state in her home country, but not where the families are. She said she was ready to anywhere. She mentioned many states she wanted to go, but she said she doesn't want the family members to know. So by the time she was going through the process of IVF, then we lost contact. I did not know how she went about the whole thing. And ever since then, I never came across that woman again. I did not come across the woman again. Man, story plenty. What people go through in the hands of their families, family members. These are people. You see, I keep telling you guys every day, I say sometimes, many people you see that are stranded in Europe here was caused by family members. Some are spiritual, some don't believe me. Especially when you have something in Africa, you may consider that thing small, but these people in Africa don't see it as a small thing. Some evil family members could be the ones that pinned you in abroad. Yes, they pinned you in abroad never to return home so that they will keep enjoying that your investment back home. You may not know. Ordinary continuous telephone call can be what they may be using to suspend you in abroad. Communication. How far now? Now, how are you doing? And a year in, year out, you don't remember home. 10 years, 5 years you've not gone home. 10 years you've not gone home. 15 years you've not gone home. Each time you ask about home, they will be telling you they are kidnapping people in Africa. Armed robbers are attacking people. This, you say, man, thank God you are safe in abroad. You say there are opportunities in abroad. You don't know that you are fighting spiritual warfare. They have suspended you in abroad. Many people you see that are in abroad state, they are suspended by family members. Some men you see here, because of ancestral land, family land, they suspended them in abroad, never to come home. Many women you see that have no children was caused by family members, not far. An apple does not fall far from the tree. An apple does not fall far from the tree. There is the spiritual controls the physical. Most problems we face in life are spiritual problems. There are forces behind it. It's no joke. There are forces behind it. Well, guys, this is, I think, the second time I'm going live. I came out this evening to entertain you and tell you real life stories. There are forces. So you need to look deeper. And these stories I told you now are real life stories. And Kuma said the money the woman used home. Anton, thank you, I appreciate you. Yes, the money people sent home, yes. See, all the stories I'm giving you are, that is direct story from the horse's mouth. And these stories, we don't mention names, we use it to educate people. Each time I remember any story that you can use to, wisen up, to save your life, I tell you the story. But we don't mention names, we don't mention cities, tribes, and things like that. I'm telling you. So, this lady, I don't know how she worked, how she went about. It was not, if you see the spiritual fight the lady was, sometimes she was crying. Each time I discussed with her, the woman cried in her shop. She cried in her shop. Literally, every time she cried, she was afraid. Did you know what she told me? She told me she was waiting for the mother to die for her to reclaim her property, because the woman did not agree to release the documents of the property. She said the only way to get her property was if the mother dies. That's the only way, that she could not even get the property she suffered. Only who knows what she did to make the money. You see, and if you visit home, you see life. Tread carefully in this life. Tread carefully. This is about, now story is plenty. Only, I don't like telling too many stories at the same time because I get tired telling stories every day. Stories that you can learn from. I will come tomorrow with another story. Things that has happened to people. Family members. Not even friends. Most of the problem people have in abroad are family members. Family members. Well, guys, if you are seeing me for the first time, follow this page, at this TikTok page. Give me a follow. And also go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube page. T always, I see you. I've got many stories. Maybe tomorrow during my breakfast show, I will drop stories for you. I will drop stories for you. You go take this. Sometimes there is a reason why people decided to go solo. There are reasons why people don't make friends, why people keep up from family members. Even some, there are family members you are not. That woman she doesn't want to. I will come up with story tomorrow. You see some guys here in abroad, no child. Some guys, 35 years in abroad, no child, no woman. 35 years in abroad, no child. People came here, went back empty-handed after 28 years, 25 years. People came to abroad. I know some people, 35 years, young men, not healthy, no pikin, no child. These people will fight you till old age. They fight you till old age. That is, they want to useless your life. When you are old and kaput, that time you become useless, they leave you. Why do you think the Bible says, suffer not a witch to live? You think saying are just ordinary? Why do you think the Bible says, suffer not a witch to live? Do you think witches don't exist? They do. They exist. If they are on your case, if witches are on your case, be like say you never see. If they are on your case, you gonna say evil power there. Ultra media said, do I advise traveling abroad is bad? This is not the topic of discussion this evening. This is not what we are not discussing traveling abroad or not traveling abroad. Because if I start answering your question now, I'll be distracted. The day we want to talk about abroad, traveling abroad, we discuss it. Now we are addressing another topic. This is your question is off point. We are not discussing about traveling abroad. So, guys, well, I want to end this broadcast here. Tomorrow is another day. I kept my promise because I said I was going to come live this evening. So if you are seeing me for the first time, don't forget to follow this page. This is how we roll here. We tell real life stories that you can learn from. So also, if you are seeing me for the first time, you can check me out on YouTube at Uncle RODDY. Go there, subscribe to my YouTube page. That's a way of supporting me. So, you've heard my stories. And if you just joined us, please go to my YouTube page at Uncle RODDY and rewatch this program. There are so many things to learn from this program. I told a lot of stories. So with this, I want to say good night to everyone who tuned in, who watched me. I also want to say thank you to everyone who liked and shared. I appreciate you all. These stories are there for you to learn from. Don't make the mistake of others. They say a smart person learns from the mistake of other people. A fool learns from his own mistake. Did you hear me? A smart person learns from the mistake of others. A fool learns from his own mistake. The mistake of others are enough. The mistakes of others are enough for you to learn from. Canary King, good night to you. Kuma Kabde, good night to you. Anton, good night to you. So I want to say good night to my people on TikTok. I've delivered my message for tonight. Tomorrow is another day. So, Kuma said, Kuma said he don't even or she don't even trust herself or himself. T always, good night to you. Patrick Martins is in the building. Patrick, good night to you. Miss Mendes, good night to you. And a whole lot of other people. Well, Pop by Waters, I want to say good night to you. And Bosco, I want to say good night to you. A whole lot of other people. Kelly G, good night to you. Where are my people at? Daniel Onwu Seraka, good night to you. So, if I forgot to mention your name, bear with me. I'm human. I don't remember every name, always. Iron Man, good night to you. Bank Book, good night to you if you are in the building. Sims, good night to you. Yeah, so, well, Kuma, I've got to keep telling the stories. Oh, these are all experiences, and these are there to guide us. So that with stories, more stories are coming tomorrow. I just pray for, that's if I'm in the mood. I just want to be in the mood. I am bringing you many more stories. So guys, Vibes, good night to you. V-I-B-Z, V-Y-B-Z, Vibes, to pronounce your name, sometimes it's difficult. So, well, did I forget to mention anybody's name? Majestically Mane, she's not here. Well, Kelly Gee, I appreciate you. Well, if I did not, Pour by Waters, hope I mentioned your name. These are the owners of this page. So guys, I want to say good night. Miss Mendes, my sister Stella Wumi, I didn't see them. I don't know. My sister Stella is not in the building. Stella Wumi, I did not see her. I've not seen Stella Wumi for some time. Well. So guys, take care of yourselves. My sister Star is in the... Star, you are invisible woman, or invisible woman. You just anchor yourself somewhere, just the opposite. He came good night, man. I forget my own man. He came good night to you. I said Bank Book is here. He came. How can I forget he came himself? Regulars. Bank Book appreciates you. How can I forget he came? Man, forgive. I'm human. You see, Bank Book appreciates you for the roses, for the gifts. Sometimes I forget. Mohammed Hassan, good night to you. You know, man, I cannot remember everybody. You see, if I don't remember you, please bear with me. If I don't remember your name, bear with me. I'm human. You know, so many people, it's only when your name, when you make a comment or things like that, then I'll see your name and then I wish you good night. Jordan Sir said he's working and so many other people. K. Kanza is not here and many other people. So many people, if I remember their names, then I give them a shout out. So guys, take care. We see ourselves tomorrow. Bye for now.